Alright, in this video, I'm going to break down what every single successful cold approach has so that you can start landing more dates with cold approach and doing the approaches confidently. So number one is always going to be a proper opener. A lot of guys get this first part wrong. They validate the girl right off the jump. They give her a compliment, and you never want to actually do that. You never just want to compliment her off the jump because you're essentially putting the woman on a pedestal higher than you, right? Instead, what you want to do is, one of my go-to lines is to simply come up to her and be like, hey, excuse me, I was just walking by, you caught my eye, and I wanted to introduce myself. Just like that. I was walking by, you caught my eye, and I wanted to introduce myself. No corny pickup lines, no validation, none of that, right? You're just there to let her know what your intention is and to display the intent, right? Which is getting to know her, right? Introducing yourself. Make sure you get number one right. If you don't have number one right, the rest of the approach won't really matter because that's your first impression right there, okay? Number two, this is where a lot of guys miss completely, right? They are either complete goofballs in the interaction and they start off the interaction saying corny pickup lines and they don't know how to actually conduct themselves in a masculine manner. On the other hand, there's the guys who are just way too serious, way too direct, and just they act like the Terminator, right? You want to have a nice balance between being playful and a nice balance between being serious, right? And you can do so simply just by teasing, right? So, easy way to tease, and this list is in order of everything that you want to do throughout the approach. But teasing is one of those things that you could toss in anytime, right? So easy way to tease is, let's say you've seen the girl, you're walking by, and you notice a unique observation about her, right? Maybe the color of her shoes, right? Maybe the way she's dressed. Maybe you got to know her, right? You asked her where she's from. She says something like, oh, I'm from the Dominican Republic, right? And so you'll be like, oh, you're from the DR. Yeah, that's a red flag. Essentially, you want to basically tease her on either something she said to you or something that she did, right? This could be something like, oh, why do you keep looking down? You keep playing with your chain. Are you nervous? Right? Just call her out, right? This is an easy way to introduce playfulness into the interaction and show her that, number one, you're not afraid to lose her. You're not afraid to lose the approach, right? A lot of guys, they come into the interaction and they start off, it's almost like they're too dependent. They're too hopeful that this interaction will go well, right? When you tease her, you're basically saying that, hey, listen, this interaction could go either way and I could care less, right? I'm just here to introduce myself and get to know you, right? If you don't like what I have to say, no worries. That's what teasing is for. It's also to show her that, hey, you're a human. You can make her laugh. You can engage her emotions. Guys, women are very emotional creatures. You have to have a successful approach, you have to engage their emotions. So teasing, make sure you don't miss that one out. Third thing you must keep in mind is you want to get to know her briefly. Now, notice I underlined briefly because a lot of guys get this wrong too. They have these 10-minute, 20-minute conversations with one woman off a cold approach, and they want to try to figure out this woman's life story, right, throughout one approach. You should never try to do that, right? There's a time and a place for longer interactions, like if you're at a social event, right? But ideally, you want to keep the interaction 5 minutes or less, right? 5 minutes or less. All you need to know about this girl is her name, you know, maybe where she's from, right? Does she live in your city, right? Is she from the area? And that's it. You can tease her based off the responses she gave you. Like the example I gave previously with, if you ask her where she's from, what ethnicity she is, you can just tease her based off where she's from. Like, oh, yeah, I heard those girls are red flag. I heard those girls are crazy. I heard those girls are no good. And then she's gonna laugh, and then she's gonna be like, oh, really? And she's gonna try to basically justify herself, right? Now, The point of getting to know her briefly is to find a common interest. This right here is the main objective of the entire approach. So do not miss it. You must find a common interest at some point while getting to know her. The reason for this is because you're approaching to go out on a date, right? Or to see if you even like this woman. If you have nothing in common, then there's a very small chance that you'll actually get along, right? Now, finding common interest, this could be something like you guys both like to work out. You notice that she's fit, right? You guys are into fitness, working out, gym, running, right? Whatever, sports. This could be you guys are both into certain type of music. You guys are both into some sort of art. You guys are into fucking, I don't care, coffee. You guys are into, I wouldn't do coffee, but even something as simple as you guys both like to drink, have a nice bottle of wine, right? You guys are both into wine. You just want to find at least one common interest that you have with this girl, right? And you want to do so as fast as possible, right? The quicker you can find this common interest, the quicker you can end the interaction. Now, this is going to set you up for this, which is offering to get to know her better, offering to get to know each other better, doing the common interest slash activity, which is essentially just setting up the date, right? The whole point of the interaction is to set up a date. Now, the best way to set it up is to say, hey, you guys are both, let's say you find out this girl is into the gym too. You see that she works out, I work out, right? This is one I use all the time. I'll just be like, hey, we should go catch a workout sometime and get to know each other better. I'm gonna say it just like that, right? Let's say you guys both like wine. You should be like, hey, I have let's go grab a bottle of wine sometime and get to know each other better, right? Just like that. This is you proposing the date, right? After that, you don't say anything. You just wait for her response. Now, this is where she has to give you a yes or a no, okay? One or the other. You don't take maybes, you take a yes or a no. If she says no, it's cool, have a nice day, see you around, right? You must end the interaction there. If she says yes, okay, which is what you want, then you move on to exchanging contact information to do the common activity. She already agreed to the date at this point. Now, all you have to do is figure out logistics, figure out how you're going to contact each other to actually go out, right? And you do so just by, some guys would ask for the number. Personally, I like to give them my phone number just because this leaves the ball in their court, right? They have my number. If she really did like me, right? If she really does want to invest into this relationship, she gets to reach out and it's less pressure on her, right? Because this way she doesn't have to give her number out to a stranger, okay? She has my number. If she wants to hit me up, she can. But you could also go for the Instagram. If you guys set up your Instagram the way I told you to in my Instagram guide, and you have a nice Instagram that's actually appealing, then 100% I would say go for the Instagram, and this will just literally let her know more about who you are, more about your life, your social proof, right? And you can easily stay on her mind with the Instagram. So only if you have a nice Instagram, go for the Instagram. But if she gives you, let's say you go for the number, you tell her, hey, listen, take down my number, we go out. If she offers anything other than what you proposed, so if you offered the number and she's like, nah, take down my Instagram or take down my Snapchat, you must be willing to say no, right? You must be willing to say no. This is all about just having that masculine frame that I spoke about, because this is essentially a test. You're not one of her friends, you're not one of her fans. And if she was really interested in you, she would be willing to take whatever method of communication that you brought up, right? That you proposed, right? She wouldn't offer to give you her Snapchat. You're not here to be one of her followers. You're here to go out, right? That's why it's so important that you do number 5 first, that you actually get her to agree to the date before talking about contact information. Where a lot of guys go wrong in their approach is that they would do an opener, usually some sort of corny pickup line or some sort of compliment, And they would go straight from the opener into exchanging contact info. They skip all of these steps. And so you just approached this woman, validated her, set a corny pickup line, and all of a sudden you're asking for her number right away. She literally has no reason to give you that information because you're a complete stranger. All she knows about you is that you're corny and you like her. That's it, right? She doesn't, like, what do you want her number for? It's to go out on a date. But she hasn't even agreed to one, and you guys haven't even figured out what you're gonna do. You haven't established any sort of rapport, any sort of common interest. That's why this whole part is so important, right? Now these three are just logistics. The point of these 3 steps is just to get to the date setting. This is what actually makes her like you, trust you, and be more intrigued by who you are. Because this is what's going to separate you from every other guy. Now, if you found this video helpful, I literally made a over 1 hour long guide on everything you need to know about cold approach, so that everything from presentation, from what to say, how to text her after the date, so you guys can start doing cold approaches anytime you want, anytime, anywhere, right? And you can be confident in your ability. If you want access to that guide, I'm gonna leave the link in the description so you can check it out. But just following this simple framework will get you results if you know how to apply the information. And if you want my help, directly helping you, coaching you through the process, helping you get into the best shape of your life, improving your presentation, and improving your cold approach skills so that you can actually attract the woman that you want, just click that link in the description to book a one-on-one call with me. See if you're a good fit for my coaching program. I'll see you boys in the next one. Stay dangerous.